Everybody has a role model that they look up to growing up. To some, it might be a famous actor or athlete. To others, it might be a historical figure or a famous author. My hero doesn't wear a cape, and he doesn't appear in movies or write famous songs or stories. The man I look up to worked so hard ever since I was born to make sure I had a home, that I was fed, and that I had everything that I would need in my life. My hero has raised me since birth and has never failed me or my family even once. The man that I look up to is my dad. When I was born, my parents weren't doing very well financially. My mom was at home taking care of me while my dad was working a full-time job, making less than I make now at my part-time job, trying to make enough money to pay the bills and keep us fed and clothed. My dad had 1 year left of college to get his bachelor's degree in architecture, but after I was born, he quit school and started working full-time to try to make ends meet. We didn't own the house that we lived in either. A couple years after graduating high school, my dad tried to start a cabinetry business with his best friend, James. Although they were skilled at their craft, the business just wasn't making enough money for how much time it was taking out of the work week. In order to live in the house we lived in, my dad had to trade the company to his dad in order for us to live in one of the trailer homes that my grandfather owned. My grandfather owned the whole trailer park that we lived in, and because of this, my dad did all of the yard work, the pool maintenance, and all the fence work that the park needed as needed. He worked tirelessly every week and every weekend just to provide my mom and I with the necessities. He also found a way to earn enough money to keep me in private school throughout my whole education and play baseball. I have great respect for all that my dad sacrificed to make sure I had a great childhood. Another thing my dad has always done for me is let me know he's there if I ever need to talk about anything. He also disciplined me, taught me right from wrong, and taught me how to be a man. He taught me how to throw a baseball when I wanted to play t-ball as a kid. He coached me into being the star player on the field. He instilled in me the importance of succeeding in school from a young age. He even put me on a lot of music very young that I probably never would have listened to if it wasn't for him. As a kid, he would always have Alice in Chains' EP album, Jar of Flies, playing in his old black Chevrolet. I used to love listening to his music as a kid. One of my fondest memories with my father as a kid was driving all over the place looking for a king cake for my mom because she said that she wanted one. We drove for hours trying to find places open, listening to Metallica and Guns N' Roses and talking about what kind of music he listened to growing up. When I got a little bit older, he taught me how to shave, which took me like 30 minutes the first time. He also taught me how to mow the yard, build a fence, and replace a tire if I ever were to get a flat. When I turned 16, he taught me how to drive. I don't think I've ever seen him so scared. He taught me everything I needed to know growing up, and I'm so grateful for all that I've learned from him. Now that I'm older, we have grown even closer. I picked up his mannerisms, and we worked together and have now for several years. Every time I bump into one of our coworkers, I get the same, "How's it going, John Jr.?" I never minded this though. Some people work so hard not to live in their father's shadows, but I'm proud to be his son. He has always been reliable, hardworking, and exceptionally competent in everything he sets his mind to. He has also been a great role model in being a Christian for me. While he never made me go to church growing up, his character exemplifies what a follower of Christ is supposed to look like. I'm so glad I was fortunate enough to be blessed with the dad that I was. To this day, he was one of my best friends, and I can't wait to make more memories with him. Thank you so much for everything you've done in my life, Dad. This one's for you. You are my hero. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.